Service, who will serve? Done.
Yep.
Next side. Conrad, you choose this side. Malaysia, you're on that side. Yep.
So the Danish pair, well, when they looked at the draw, well, they would have been hoping that they'd still be playing on the second day, but most people probably would have thought that was unlikely, because the Danish combination in the black kit, well, on the right is Mads Conrad-Peterson. Both these athletes, 27 years of age, both turned 27 in January. Mads Kolding, well, he is a giant of a man, 2 meters and 5 centimeters. Number 11 in the world ranking, they've gone up 2 places. That was published earlier today. Up 2 places to a career high number 11, and that's after winning in Germany last week. So their first match was against the number 1 seeds, Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung. And look at the scoreline, 21-16, 21-19 in 49 minutes. That really was a sensational match and thoroughly deserved their victory, I have to say. And we'll come back to this a little later, Steen, but I want your opinion because I think they've been improving over the last year or so. So to the Malaysian pair, Go Wee Shen and Tan Wee Kiong. 81 in the world ranking, do not pay any attention to that because they've only got 5 tournaments towards the world ranking. You really need 10 tournaments to get anything near a realistic world ranking. The win-loss record for last year, well, they only played 4 tournaments. They won the Commonwealth Games gold medal in Glasgow. They reached the semi-final and therefore a bronze medal at the Asian Games as well. So, as far as they were concerned, well, they had qualifiers from Germany in the very first round, and they won that, as you can see, in just 28 minutes. So this is the first time that the Malaysians are playing together at the All England Championships. They both played previously with different partners, and of course, Tan Wee Kiong, playing with Hoon Tien Hao, has been a quarter-finalist for the last 2 years, so he's going to try and make it a hat-trick of quarter-finals. So our umpire is Frick Cox from the Netherlands. Bert van Horenbeck from Belgium is the service judge. Now, this is the very first meeting between these 2 pairs. Not surprising, considering the Malaysians have played so few tournaments together. I think the Malaysians have played a couple of tournaments this year. The Malaysian Grand Prix Gold, they were semi-finalists. And in India, well, disappointment for them because they lost in the very first round. But the Danish combination, after victory last week at the German Grand Prix Gold, where they beat Ivanov and Sozonov, reversing the result from the European Championship final in Kazan last year.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Mads Conrad-Peterson and Mads Kolding, Denmark. And on my left, Go Wee Shen, Tan Wee Kiong, Malaysia. Tan Wee Kiong to serve to Mads Conrad-Peterson. Double play.
So the Malaysian pair, Tan Wee Kiong, getting the match underway. He's the shorter of the 2 Malaysians. His partner, Go Wee Shen, both 25 years of age.
Time's over.
And Steve, over the last 12 months or so, there's been an awful lot of talk, isn't there, about Malaysian men's doubles. I was reading in the Malaysian newspapers earlier this week that former world number 1, former All England champion Tan Boon Hyong has just left the National Federation.
Yeah, and also the one you mentioned before, Hong Chin Ho.
Yeah.
The former partner of Lim Ping Wah. has quit. So yeah, a lot of things going on in Malaysian badminton right now. This pair, I think, has potential to be really good. I think it's the two best individual players. They have, of course, Tan Boon Hong, very, very good player as well, but has been in the Super Series circuit for a number of years and perhaps a little bit disheartened. So I think it's the right combination. This one, interesting to see what they can do.
3-1.
Well, I had the pleasure of watching this new Malaysian pair when they first started playing together, which was at the Thomas Cup last year in India. And of course Malaysia reached the final, losing out to Japan in that thrilling match. And it was this Malaysian men's doubles pair that actually kept the final alive. They won the fourth match and therefore sent it to a fifth and deciding match within the final tie. And it was all very thrilling. But I thought that it was a very interesting combination. And then, of course, I watched them win gold medal at the Commonwealth Games last year. But there has been one or two worries about this man, Go Vi Shen. He's had a knee injury. He's been struggling with that. What's the word? Is he back to full fitness?
I'm not really sure, but from what I've seen here, he seems to be in very, very good shape. Actually, a little bit slimmer than we've seen him before.
Oh, this is a good start by the Danes. 6-1.
6-1.
Did you get a chance to hear on the grapevine, talk to Lazur, the head coach, or any of the players after their victory against the #1 seeds?
No, I didn't talk to them, but I read some of the interviews that they gave to Danish media, and of course they were thrilled. They didn't expect to be playing here today. Mads Conrad has been ill ever since the final in German Open, and has been isolated in the hotel in order not to spread the disease, so to speak. But playing a fever match yesterday and starting out really, really strong here.
Well, I didn't know that at the time, and I watched that match yesterday when they beat the #1 seeds from Korea, and I thought Mads Conrad was playing such a commander's role. He was going for everything at the net, trying to intercept as much as possible. That explains it. He was trying to save his partner and do more of the workload.
Was it Mads Conrad or Mads Kolding?
Conrad was at the net.
Yeah, Conrad was at the net. Maybe I was wrong. It was Conrad who was ill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it also explains it, because when you're a little bit ill or when you're a little bit injured, you sometimes tend to play more clever, because you know that you can't just rely on your stamina. You must play clever shots in order to get through. And that's, of course, also one of the concerns in the Danish camp for this match. How will he react to the illness? Is there a price to pay today after this brilliant match yesterday?
Yeah. Regardless of illness, I think with any player, I mean, you've coached for years.
Yes.
And when a player in any sport has a huge win, a win they weren't expecting, you know, you build yourself up all week. You know who you've got to play ever since the draw came out, and you've been thinking about that first round match against the #1 seeds, but you don't actually think beyond it. And therefore there tends to be, after every high, there's a bit of a trough. But if they can keep their high going for this match and beyond, well, all credit to them, because there is a natural tendency to have a bit of a low after such a high.
Especially a match like this, where like 50-50. If this were a first round match, you'd say they were pretty much even, perhaps a little advantage to the Malaysians. And now you've beaten the #1 seeds, making a great result. You really want to follow it up, but you're still facing good competition the next day, and you have to play at the same level to be able to repeat it.
Oh, that's clever. From Tan Wee Kyung. My goodness me. I had a theory about Tan Wee Kyung, Steen. Of course, we've talked about his previous partnership with Hoon Tien Hao, and Hoon Tien Hao liked to be the front court player. And I think that now he's playing with Go Vi Shen, he's got more freedom to go to the net because he's got more confidence in Go Vi Shen from the back of the court. And therefore, I think he's been a lot more adventurous in front. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, I would totally agree. Actually, here, if you should label a front court player, it would be and Vigo Shem as of course when he was playing, but he had a very good eye for at the net, and perhaps also was a little bit out of shape at some occasions. So Lim Kim Hwa would be forced to play the backcourt player role, and perhaps that can benefit him in his new partnership with Go.
Yeah. Six. Yes, well played again from Mads Conrad. And the Danes go to the mid-game interval with a 5-point advantage. And certainly the sign so far is that they're continuing in the same vein as the wonderful form they showed yesterday.
Ellers det rigtig fint. Vi skal bare huske at have bagbanen med stadigvæk. Ja. Ikke? Og selvfølgelig helst med højde, men kommer vi til at lave det første løft for flat, så står vi også fint på den. Ja.
Jeg skal nok have dem der, når han lukker ud for mig. Der er dårlig timing den der.
Ja. Og så skal vi så, når Tan har den, han efter de korte huller, skal vi lige være ops på. Så er det godt at få swippen med. Dem skal vi have et par stykker mere af her. Ja.
Well, we'll get your translation in a moment as we look at the Malaysian pair. Who are the now head coach, of course, was your deputy when you were head coach. Now, what was he advising the translation in a head coach? Was your deputy when you were head coach in Denmark? Now, what was he advising the Manx?
Pretty much left with a good height.
Okay.
Malaysian coaches there, Rosman Razak, and was that Jeremy Gang? I think it was. It's gone long.
Serve's over. 7-12.
Oh, there we are.
One away. One away.
Rosman Razak. As we look at them, and Jeremy Gang on the left.
The Danes, they have still nothing is decided at all, because it's always a little bit, when you face a player who's as tall as Mads Kolding, it's very, very different from your normal style of playing, and you need to sometimes adapt to that needed. So still very, very exciting first game here.
Yes, 2 meters and 5 centimeters, and I think a 6'9". And long legs to get forward to the net, racket arm outstretched to make the kill. Look, he's in the mid-court area.
That was over. 15. Go ahead. Please. Go ahead.
I have to say, like to play themselves into the match. I know some pairs like to come out all guns blazing. I was always a player that wanted to come out all guns blazing, but some players just like to gradually work themselves into the match, and I have to say, sometimes I think it costs them dear.
Because I mean,
8-14.
It's not so boosting your self-confidence being down 8-14, and not only your own confidence, but it's definitely boosting the opponent's confidence.
Yeah.
Comes over.
These are the sort of interceptions looking for the shuttle that force opponents into error. Because defensively, you know, you've got to get it so flat over the net, or you've got to play the perfect shot. And that's where the movement off the shuttle. I know you as a coach are always very hot on, you know, it's not just anticipating the work off the shuttle, like a footballer on the football pitch pulls a defender with him, it opens up a gap for another one of the strikers.
Yeah, exactly. That's why these statistics you see where it says unforced errors, that's not correct. They're forced. Mentally they're forced.
Yeah. That's an interesting serve out wide. That was nice. Change and a change of angle on the attack.
Great smash from Mads Conrad to the forehand side of his tall partner. Not so hard, but quick and steep, and that's very efficient in this Barclaycard arena because it's so big. So if you try to smash too hard, there's a good chance that you mistimed a little bit in the first round, second round play.
Yeah.
The more you play here, the more confident you get.
Struck.
18-10.
Oh, clever. Yeah, and a little look from Govy-Shem back to his coaching staff, a little bit of frustration, but in all honesty, the Danes are just commanding every rally. No wonder their coach is happy.
Yeah, they've been playing an excellent first game.
Serve is over.
Seems like, especially Mads Kolding has improved
11-19.
over time here and getting these 2 wins in Germany. I expect that his self-confidence has been boosted immensely.
Yes, of course, he won the mixed doubles as well as the men's doubles. Mixed doubles with Rutte beating the European champions and teammates, Jochen Fischer and Conrad-Peterson.
And it's important for the Malaysians to
13-19.
if not get back in this game, at least get some points, get some ideas on what can we do in the second game here if we are to lose the first.
Well, that last rally was a good idea, wasn't it? I mean, he was putting pressure on from the front court area.
Time's over.
The game points have arrived for the Danes.
20. Game point. 13. Service fault called. Service over.
Service fault called. Struck above the waist. But Van Horenbeek, service judge.
You can see the left arm, it's almost horizontal, so there's no way that could be below the
waist, the rib, the lowest rib.
But he's been doing a good job on the front court, Mads Conrad, playing clever shots, been really alert, sort of protecting his tall partner.
Look at that defence. Where on earth did that come from? My goodness me. That was sensational. Flat over the net, turned at the same time. This from Mads Kolding. Look at that. Into the mid-court area, away from both players, and an outright winner. Brilliant opening game by the Danes. 21-15. 17 minutes of
Det er
play.
vigtigt, man kigger også om nej. De der, når vi hænger lidt eller lidt ude af balance, så skal vi op over. Ja. Og vi står det. Ja. Så er det rigtig godt, at vi hver gang de har serven, så tager vi masser af tid. Og så bliver vi ved at variere returerne. Den der helt korte er stadigvæk god, og når vi er oppe på dem, så de der halvdistancer er også gode. Så en gang imellem tryk på dem dernede. Der skal vi bare være klar på, at der kommer tryk igen. Ja. Ikke?
Med god tryk på krop.
Ja. Ja, den er faktisk bedre end ude i siden, for der kommer den der kryds. Ja. Så er det rigtig godt, som vi veksler mellem at trykke på dem. Og
中杀要检查高的中杀没有，你中杀那个站在后尾嘛，他可以反击，你可以点杀高的中杀没有啊，击法你可以第一个先抓着，然后压，没有，
Well, I didn't really catch any of that, but certainly from Jeremy Gann's gestures there, he seemed to be saying something about the net. He seemed to be saying, get the racket up ready, you've got to play something from the net area. And I assume that's probably good advice. But what's the Danes being advised?
Yeah, they were quite satisfied. They were talking a little bit about the service situation, that they need to vary the service returns, as they've done in the first game here, and yeah, pretty confident in the defense that they can sort of stand their ground in the defense, and that's just such a big confidence booster when you feel that you can return all the opponent's attacks.
Level. Play.
So here we go, second game. Well, I know that was only a two-shot rally, but did you notice a little more spring in the step of the Malaysians? I thought there was a little more sort of urgency. I know it's only one shot, but the body language to me was telling quite a lot.
Time's over.
But they need to commit to this. It's going to be a tough match.
The Malaysians, you mean?
The Malaysians need to commit to this. The Danes are not giving in. I mean, they're on a roll. They love this. So they're going to earn it, the Malaysians. They're going to work really, really hard and still play clever shots.
Yeah.
And I think that they must have the control of the rallies. They must get the attack. Otherwise, they can't defend well enough against this tall guy, Mads Kolding from Denmark.
Yeah.
His smashes are so efficient.
Well, Mads Conrad is not a small man because he's 6'1", which is 186. Looks back towards the front service line as if to say to himself, should I have left that?
It's well placed by 10. It's just the point where you have to choose whether to go forehand or backhand return.
Yeah. That's a couple of very good serves, isn't it? From Tan Lee Keong.
Stepped up the Malaysians.
Yep.
5-2.
As I say, I could see it in their body language from the first point.
Trying to play faster with the shots earlier.
Time's over.
There's some loose shots there from Go, where he just lifts it and it's not high. It's a bad lift. Here it is. Good interception by Mads Kolding.
3-5. Play.
Ja.
4-5. That's over.
Sometimes I do feel that the big man, Mads Kolding, really stands so deep in his defensive stance. Look at this. He's obviously, he's a tall man, so is only one step to go forward, but he's almost on that double service line.
Yeah. And
5,
if,
6.
I mean, you can make a drop shot, and if he retrieves it, no problem. I mean, you get him out of his comfort zone, his position, and that might very well be the key to winning more of their attacks. You see it from the Malaysian side.
Yeah.
Time's over. 7-5.
Good judgment. Drops long. Yeah, I thought the string had gone in Mads Kolding's racket. Didn't sound right at all, did it?
A very nice rally for the Danes, and that's one of the
6, 7.
characteristics of Mads Kolding. He's not just high, he can play as well. You don't get to this level without being able to play. I have to admit that when they first were put together, I doubted their potential, and I've just had to eat my words badly since then.
Yeah. I have to say as well, there was a stage where I thought that any pressure situation, he didn't handle the big points, the pressure points, terribly well, but he's improved that area as well.
Yeah.
And I think, coming back to what I was saying right from the introductions of this men's doubles, I thought the Thomas Cup last year in India was the turning point for them. They had a big win. I think it was over the Japanese pair, wasn't it?
Yeah, they won all their first men's doubles.
Yeah.
Matthias Bo was injured, and they were giving the responsibility of playing first men's doubles, and they won all their matches.
Yeah.
7-4.
Whilst the Malaysian pair here, I guess they beat Carsten Mogensen and Joachim Fischer in the second men's doubles in that Thomas Cup encounter.
Yeah. So back level, 7-all. Oh my goodness, he had 2 attempts at that. He honestly played 2 shots before he hit it.
8-7.
Tam Wee Keon. Watch this, misses it, plays it on the second attempt.
That's too big a deception.
That's extraordinary, isn't it? How quick is that?
Time's over.
Here we can see what the Danes were discussing with their coach. If they lift too flat or flick too flat, the Malaysians will jump in, intercept, and make a very, very quick smash before the Danes are in position. And that could be lethal.
That's a good serve again. This time from Govi Shen.
9-8.
A lot of flat exchanges towards the body right now.
10-8.
And that's going to suit the Malaysians more, do you think?
I think so. I think so.
I thought that was important. If the Malaysians had got to the mid-game interval on a run of 4 straight points to 3-point advantage, I thought that could be a real turning point. So the Danes have done well here.
Fault. 10-0.
Good to see the communication between the two Malaysian players there. Good judgment. So it's the Danes who have the advantage at the mid-game interval, albeit just 1 point. But psychologically, that's going to mean a lot.
Nede bagfra, der er det vigtigt, at vi får stejlhed på. I må gerne slå lurent også. Ja.
Det er vigtigt, at vi lige også siger, lige bevæger benene.
Ja. Ja.
Der er lige en periode, hvor det bliver lidt for slatten.
Lige sådan her i stedet for os.
Ja. Og så bliver vi lukket en lille smule med i det flade. Og det er okay, hvis vi er ovenpå.
Trykker flat. Det må jeg ikke, selvom jeg har læst. Den skal bare lige ned.
Ja, lige præcis.
De står begge to og dækker baghånd.
Lige præcis. Og få spillet stoppene og dække bagud, og få spillet overspilningerne stadigvæk.
Ja.
Okay?
Og hvis vi er ovenpå, så fungerer den egentlig meget godt med at lige trykke den en gang, så kommer trykket tilbage, og så dumt.
Lige præcis.
20 seconds, go on, 20 seconds.
So the words of wisdom this time?
Yeah, it's about how do they handle this situation. Flat game. If we're below the tape, the Danes are below the tape, they cannot push because it will just go upwards and upwards and upwards. So they need to block or lift it high. And yeah, they have some other few things that perhaps push one time and then block it the next. So very, very good coaching. It was 3 strange rallies in the end of just before the interval here, because from playing really well, the Malaysians seemed to sort of lose it totally. 3 rallies, 3 points gone.
Yeah.
Well, 11.
Aiming towards that right hip, making it very difficult for opponents to defend. Yeah, now that's what he was doing yesterday so well, rushing forward. We were talking in the women's doubles, Steen, about the quality of a player, judging a quality, about whether they take, what sort of risk they take. That was barely a half chance, but he took it.
Yeah, and that's his job here, because, I mean, in the long run, the Danes don't benefit from being in the defense. They benefit from attacking, especially with the steep smashes from Mads Kolding.
Yeah.
So, therefore, Conrad must go forward.
As he did again
That's
there.
excellent.
That's brilliant. Because that first one he intercepted, that would have gone nearly towards the back of the court. So for him to intercept, and it's around the headshot, this one there, that's the one that really made the difference in the rally. Absolutely magnificent play.
And he's looking for the chances. I mean, he's looking more than the 2 Malaysian players are looking for the chances. Well played. That was well played by Tan.
Yep.
Playing that drop shot from quite a bit below the tape, changing the rally from defense to attack. Yes.
Yep.
And this is what you look for when you try to decide who is going to be the net player. The players that can make these shots, who dares to make these shots. Now they have to be really careful, the Malaysians, because the Danes have a little advantage if it's neck to neck going up to 20, because they can score points more easily. The height of Mads Kolding is helping them. Brilliant play.
Yeah, aim towards the right hip again. Perfect placement of the smash. But all the rally was good.
Yeah. They've been playing really well, both Conrad and Kolding. Hasn't done much wrong in this match so far.
No, I have to say, though, I would have liked to have seen the Malaysians take more initiative within the rallies, though. But perhaps the Danes just haven't allowed them.
It's also a little bit about realizing that this lift there, it's not going to do them any good. Except for this rally, perhaps.
Yeah, good rally, too. I think Tang Wee Keong's broken the strings of his racket. He's hiding from the shuttle. Yeah.
But sometimes you have to realize that the way you're playing is not going to win you the match. And then you have to try something else.
Yeah.
Just continuing to do what has so far not produced any good results for you is not going to help you anymore. So they need to be more disciplined in challenging on the front court, going for the attack.
Yeah, but don't you think that nowadays players, and please don't take this the wrong way, because I think you're a world-class coach and so on, but players are reliant on coaches now. In going back to my era, which you know, coaches weren't allowed on, and therefore you had to make that decision for yourself. If the Malaysians had been told by their coaches, this is the way to play, for them then to go against that in this dire situation, 13-17 down, and it doesn't work for them, then they're in a difficult position.
Yeah, and that's a real dilemma.
Yeah.
Because they can continue on playing like this and then go back to the coaches and say, your tactics didn't work. Yeah,
but the sad reality is they'll be out of the tournament.
They'll be out of the tournament. They'll be on the plane back to Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah. And I'm a great believer as an athlete, you've got to take personal responsibility. They've got to say to themselves, right, here we are, we're 3 points from defeat. Let's go all out. Let's try something different. Maybe even now is a little too late. It was good defence, good movement from Mads Kolding. Difficult for such a tall man to get down low to those little drop shots, but he did well. Well, match points have arrived already for Mads Conrad and Mads Kolding. 7 match point opportunities. Brilliant. What a way to finish. And no wonder they celebrate. All our question marks about the psychology of following up on such a magnificent victory yesterday when they beat the world #1s and the #1 seeds from Korea. They've kept their run of good form going. That final slice from Mads Kolding, played with the skies and of course coming down from such an angle. It really was a magnificent way to close out this second round match. But the Mads Conrad and Mads Kolding are through to the quarterfinal. There, confirmation of the score, 21-15, 21-13 in 37 minutes of play. Well, that really was incredible. And hearing that Mads Conrad had been poorly, not been well, that is quite phenomenal that they were able to produce such scintillating badminton, not only yesterday, but bringing it through to today as well. So Mads Conrad and Mads Pila Kolding through to their quarter-final, first quarter-final for them at the All England Championships in the men's doubles. And as you can see, they'll play against either the Indian pair, Atri and Reddy, or Indonesian Finaldi and Suk Mojol. So as you can see, the next match on court is mixed doubles, and Suka Moljol and Polly from Indonesia against England's Chris Adcock and his wife Gabby Adcock, the number 6 seeds here this year. Well, it's been 10 years since England last won a title here at the All England Championships, but it was at the mixed doubles.
Yellow. Can we see? Service. Okay, ready to serve.
So the first job of our umpire, Uday Sani from India, is the toss of the coin. Now this match is from the bottom half of the draw. So the English combination, Chris Adcock, 25 years of age, although he'll turn 26 next month, born in Leicester, but living now in Milton Keynes. Up 1 place in the world ranking this week to number 5, back up to a career high. His wife, Gabby Adcock, 24 years of age, born in Leeds. Making their 6th appearance here at the All England Championships as a